Aaron's in the booth talking about everything from WWE to you, classics and the rest. You know he's got the passion and he's bringing you the best. Aaron loves wrestling, feel that heat. Every finish.
How's it going, all my wrestling lovers? Aaron Loves Wrestling Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Love, also known as the American Cowboy himself, Aaron, and I'm here to discuss TNA Impact from last night, July 17th, and also Slammiversary that is coming up this Sunday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch because of my work schedule. I actually got work this weekend tonight, so I am going to miss it. But I was able to watch TNA last night. Another big news, I'm going to plan on doing this TNA review. Aaron loves crossing the line because I love TNA, and I'm going to do TNA watch-alongs beginning not next Thursday, but Thursday after, because of my crazy work schedule will be every other Thursday. What's up, Johnny? What's going on, brother? Nice to see you join me. So plan on doing that and pay more close attention to TNA. I do watch TNA and pay attention, but I want to do some more watch-alongs, and I also want to do reviews of them here in the future. So here we go with the first one, leading into Slammiversary. That's right, can't wait either. We are in for a big treat for Slammiversary. So TNA Impact kicked off last night with X Division champion Moose facing off Sami Callihan. Moose defeated Sami Callihan, and just as when Moose won, he basically kicked Sami Callihan out of the ring, and they introduced the system. And here comes Order 4. The Dark State rushes the ring and crashed the system. That's right. They crashed the system and they attacked the system in the middle of the ring. We got Dark State versus the system and Matt Cardona this Sunday at Slammiversary. That's going to be a great match. The reunion of Matt Cardona and Brian Myers this Sunday as well. That's going to be great to watch. We also after that, we had Dani Luna versus Tessa Blanchard. Pretty good, solid women's match. It went about 15, 20 minutes long. It was pretty good. And Tessa Blanchard came out with the victory over Dani Luna. And as they were attacking Dani Luna, Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford, also formerly known as Alicia Fox, out comes Indy Hartwell for the save. We got Indy Hartwell versus Tessa Blanchard this Sunday as well in a match. That's going to be a great one-on-one match. And then we had Jacy Jane. We had Ashley Elegance come out, and she was hyping up that she for being the number one contender for the TNA title. And then out comes Jacy Jane and the Fatal Influence, and then they come out and interrupt her promo, and Jacy Jane basically talks about how she's going to become double women's champion at Slammiversary. There's a title versus title match with Jacy Jane versus Masha Slamovich, NXT Women's title and the TNA Knockouts title on the line. So we'll see who wins that match this Sunday. We also have the Hometown Man, which I love this guy. He's a pretty cool guy. Hometown Man facing off against Judas Icarius. Hope I said that name right. And Hometown Man comes out with the victory. And that was a pretty good, solid match. And like I said, I love the Hometown Man. I love how he comes out in hometown, tired, wherever hometown he's in. So I think it's pretty cool. And I love it. And then next we had Steve Macklin basically asking who's going to step up to face him for the TNA International Championship, which I got to say, I love the TNA International title. It looks great. A beautiful looking title. And Stephen Macklin is doing great with the title, on the title run. So I'm glad to see him as champion. We'll see who steps up and faces him at Sunday at Slammiversary. Maybe a surprise return. Maybe Maybe it could be AJ Styles. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Um, then we have Mark Cardona coming out Dark State in the next segment, which Jake Matt Cardona, AJ Painter, Dark State assaults Matt Cardona, AJ Painter, and Brian Myers, and then out comes Eddie Edwards and JDC for the save of Cardona as Dark State is rushed out of the building. I love this Dark State group. They're pretty good. They kind of grown on me over in NXT. Dark State's a pretty good faction they got going. And Dark State versus the System this Sunday, I think it's going to be a pretty good match. And I like the addition of Matt Cardona in this match. So I think this match is going to be pretty great. So we'll see what happens there. Next, we have the Hardy segment. Basically, the Hardy saying that if they can't perform at the top of their game in this promo, then they'll just leave and retire. They want to overstay their welcome. I really hope Hardys don't lose this match because I want to see the Hardys continue to wrestle because I love the Hardys. But if it's their time, it's their time. I would prefer that they end their time in WWE, have one more match in WWE. That'd be a fun match. But we'll see. This Sunday, it'll be great to see the Hardys again as tag team champions. The Nimitz have been a great tag team. I've enjoyed seeing the Nimitz as tag team champions. They're pretty good heels. Nick and the Nimitz are pretty, they're really good. Nick and Ryan Nemeth, and seeing them in this tag team ladder match against AJ Francis against AJ Francis and his partner Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth, the Hardys, the Rascals. This match is going to be a pretty good tag team match. Pretty good tag team match. I'm going to love this match. I think this match is going to be pretty good. And then ended in a brawl. Hardy standing tall on top and climbing the ladder. So that was pretty good as well. Next, we had the tag team main event match with Mike Santana and Joe Hendry, do you believe, versus Trick Williams. Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian. That was a pretty good tag team match. Mike Santana comes out with the victory on top, tags himself in over Joe Hendry. And then you have the big stare down in the ring towards the end, and then the big drop at the end. The big video package at the end of TNA Impact. We had the video package, the video promo. Basically, AJ Styles is returning to Slammiversary this Sunday. It had this treasure chest, so to speak, and inside the chest was AJ Styles' gear. So it's going to be great to see AJ Styles return home to the house that he built. So that's going to be fun to watch on Sunday. Speaking of AJ, who is AJ Styles going against? I don't know. As far as I know, this is announced. He could just cut a promo. They just announced he's going to be there. He's probably going to cut a promo about TNA and Slammiversary, going over history, and who knows will come out. Who knows will come out and go face to face with AJ Styles. I don't know, but I'm interested to see this, to see what happens. Basically, the aftermath, because again, I got to work Sunday night, so I'll watch the aftermath hopefully on Monday. So I can't wait to see what's the aftermath of TNA and Slammiversary. TNA Impact was great. Again, in the future, I'm going to try to tune into more, or I will turn into more TNA Impact episodes, do some watch-alongs, and we'll watch some TNA Impact Wrestling. So that it would be pretty. That would be a great watch along. I do AEW watch along, Dynamite Collision with the All Elite Predictions title. We'll see what I come up with to have a little fun for the little watch along on TNA. I love TNA. Been a big fan of TNA since 2005. Yeah, 2005. My favorite was the Cowboy James Storm. Love him. He's one of my favorites in TNA. Also love, of course, AJ Styles and company. But and then Sting. Sting was great in TNA. Bobby Roode. So many great talent came out of TNA. I used to love the six-sided ring. I like the new ring. I like the yellow ropes. I like everything about TNA, the way it looks now. I can't remember who, but somebody talked about the six-sided ring was kind of more demanding on the body, more demanding on the wrestlers, and so that's probably why they ditched that. But the six-sided ring will always be one of my favorite rings. Will always be iconic for TNA. I love the new TNA ring look. I love the new TNA belts that they came out, of course, over a year ago. I love TNA and what they've done the past year and a half. They have grown tremendously over the past year and a half since going back to the old school logo, bringing back the old school theme of crossing the line, and just developing on stories and building new wrestlers, teaming with WWE. It's been great to see with TNA and what they have done along this past year and a half. They have grown so much. Seeing the crowd this past Thursday night was pretty good. To see the crowd like that, I can't wait to see what the crowd looks like on Sunday night. I think right now they've sold over 5,000 tickets. The max is around a little over 6,000. So it'll be great to see them pack that house Sunday night for TNA Slammiversary. So I can't wait for that Sunday night. Again, we'll miss it due to work, but I'll catch the replay on Monday and rewatch it. And speaking of Slammiversary, let's get into this. Let's look at what we got here. We got Jake Something, Steve Macklin, Mance Warner going up against Real One, which is formerly known as Enzo Amore. Zilla Fatu. Zilla Fatu is crossing the line. So we'll see how that takes place, because if he does sign with TNA, or this is a way for him to get a step into WWE, maybe we'll see Zilla and Jacob Fatu team up and they'll be together again in WWE, and he can help Jacob Fatu against Solo in the new Bloodline 3.0. So we'll see what happens there. But in this, it'll be Real One, formerly known as Enzo Amore. Also, this will be great, in my opinion, to get Enzo Amore back in WWE. I do miss Enzo Amore, certified G and a bona fide stud. So I can't wait to see that. We also got Zilla Fatu and Josh Bishop teaming up again against Jake Something, Steve Macklin, and Mance Warner. I think I'm going to go with Steve Macklin, Mance Warner, and Jake Something. I think they'll come out on top in this match. But maybe we'll see Zilla Fatu and company. But I got Steve Macklin, Jake Something, and Mance Warner as my prediction for this one. Next, we have the TNA Knockouts Championship with the Elegance brand facing up against the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics in WWE. They are in TNA, and they're going after TNA Knockouts Championship. We got, we'll see who wins this TNA Knockout match. I think the Inspiration wins. That's who my prediction is. That's who I got. Inspiration is going to come out the new TNA Knockout Champions. Then next, we have the big tag team match, basically probably I would say brand warfare type match with the System and Matt Cardona versus NXT Dark State. I think this will be a fantastic match in itself as well. Again, I love this cross promotional between WWE and TNA. It's something I never thought I would see ever in TNA or WWE, especially. But now we under this new ownership with TKO and Triple H at the helm and everything like that. We had this with TNA. I've even read reports of TNA even selling the company to WWE. So that means we'll probably have TNA as another brand for WWE. And who knows, they can bring that in with Survivor Series. I would like to see this year at Survivor Series that we'll have basically Team WWE with Raw and SmackDown facing off with NXT and TNA. And I think that would be a great way to kind of spice up Survivor Series and have this cross-promotional warfare, so to speak. You have the development of brand of NXT. We have Team WWE with Raw and SmackDown. And then, of course, we got TNA. I remember back in 2019 when they brought in when it was Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT back in 2019 Survivor Series. To me, that was one of the best Survivor Series we've had as of late, besides the War Games Survivor Series we've had lately. But that, to me, was a really good brand warfare type Survivor Series, and it's something I would also like to see again. So we'll see what happens with this on in the future with TNA, maybe even possibly selling the company to WWE, and WWE can get it on a better TV deal. Maybe even get it on Netflix or air on Peacock or air on on CW like NXT is, or maybe another TV station. So we'll see how this goes with TNA. I do enjoy TNA Plus, and for me to be able to watch TNA on TNA Plus, but they do this as a better financial deal and a better deal as a whole for the company to keep the TNA alive and going. I think it'll be great for the company and great for WWE as well, because then they can also again mesh the companies and get a little fun with it. So we'll see where this goes from here. Uh, this is lit. Never stop. Never stop. I'll never stop. Aaron loves wrestling. So system, Matt Cardona versus Dark State. I'm going with Matt Cardona and the system on this one. This is my prediction for this one. But we also got Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell. Tessa Blanchard and Indy Hartwell. This is going to be a great match, I think, as well. Tessa Blanchard has come up. She's received a lot of hate and a lot of criticism, of course, due to past circumstances. Let's forgive. Let's move on. And let's get past that. She's a human being. We all make mistakes. So love and forgive and move on. So Tessa Blanchard versus Indy Hartwell, I think, is going to be a fantastic match. Tessa Blanchard and Indy Hartwell, both great talents. I think I'm going to go with Tessa Blanchard in this one. I think she's going to come out on top with the victory. I think the heel's going to win this. So we'll see what goes from there. And then we have Cedric Alexander facing off against Mustafa Ali. I love Cedric Alexander. He's one of my favorite wrestlers, and it's great to see him in TNA. We'll probably even see him back in WWE soon. I was kind of hoping he would go over to AEW and rejoin with the Hurt Syndicate, but it's not for him. It's not for him. It's great. He's doing what's best for him. And I think this match against Mustafa Ali is great. And who knows, we might even see Cedric Alexander go and win the TNA X Division Championship or International Championship. Cedric Alexander, to me, is a great talent. And he's been great as a singles wrestler the past few years, especially he's left WWE and gone to Independence, and now he's signed with TNA. Cedric Alexander is an up-and-coming talent, in my opinion, and I think Cedric Alexander will get the win in this one against Mustafa Ali. So we'll see. But we'll see. Again, drop your predictions in the comments. Who do you think is going to win at Slammiversary? What do you think of TNA Impact this past Thursday? Let me know in the comments. Next, we move on to the TNA X Division Championship. Moose said on TNA this past Thursday last night, he says he's going to be the longest TNA X Division champion in TNA history. Who knows? He might. He's been on a great TNA X Division run. He's putting the title on the line tonight, Sunday night against Leon Slater. But sorry, Moose. I would love to see you become the longest reigning TNA X Division champion of all time, but I'm going to go with my boy Leon Slater. He's an up-and-coming rising talent as well. And if he wins the TNA X Division championship on Sunday night, he'll be the youngest wrestler in TNA history to win the TNA X Division championship. So I'm going with Leon Slater on this one. And the next, we got the Fatal 4-Way Ladder match. Fatal 4-Way Ladder match with the Rascals versus the champions, the Nimitz, TNA Tag Team Champions, the Nimitz, the Hardys, and First Class. Yep, that's who we got in this match. And I got to go with the Hardys because, again, I don't want to see them retire yet. I love the Hardys. They're one of my favorite tag teams. They've been my favorite tag team since I was a kid. And I love Matt and Jeff. So I've got to go with the Hardys on this one. They win the tag team belts. And maybe they drop the belts later on to someone else like the Rascals or First Class. But in this ladder match, got to go with the Hardys, who are the king of the ladder matches, in my opinion. So I'm going with the Hardys, Matt and Jeff for life. That's right, Matt and Jeff for life. Next, we got the women's title versus title match with Masha Slamovich putting her TNA Knockout Championship on the line against JC Jane, who is also putting her NXT Women's Championship on the line. The winner's going to walk out double champion. I'm kind of torn between this one because this one is really unpredictable. It can go either way. But if I had to bet, I think I'm going to put my money on JC Jane. I think she's going to win. She's going to be double champ. She'll become an up-and-coming talent as well, getting better in the ring, getting better on the promos, getting better in developing. I think JC Jane is going to win this match and become double champion. She might put the titles on the line against Jordan Grace later down the road, maybe Ash by Elegance. Who knows? But I love this. I love this title versus title, a real literal, in my opinion, legitimately title versus title. You got two separate companies putting the titles on the line. This kind of brings old school territory days type feel when they put titles on the line against one another. They used to. So I love this. So I got JC Jane in this match, and I think this match is going to be one of the best matches of the night. And then, of course, we got the return of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. That's right. We got AJ Styles returning Sunday. We got him returning home to TNA, which I think would be great. I have stated on X, I've stated on Instagram. I would love to see AJ Styles become TNA World Champion one last time before he retires. I would love to see him hold this new TNA belt. So I would love to see AJ Styles win this title, win the TNA World Championship one last time. It'd be great if he sits at ringside for the TNA World Championship match we're about to talk about in a minute. But it's great to see AJ Styles return. Will he have a match? We don't know. As far as we know is that he's just returning, and he's going to be in the ring. He's probably going to cut a promo, maybe get interrupted, and maybe we'll have a little short match where he attacks whoever interrupts him, and then maybe they'll set up a future TNA match later down the road. But seeing AJ Styles return to TNA, it's so great because I grew up watching him in TNA. He was a great talent in TNA. I love AJ Styles, and it'll be great to see him return in TNA wrestling for a little while again, win the TNA World Championship. Speaking of the TNA World Championship, here we go. The big main event of the night. It's going to be a triple threat match with Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and the champion Trick Williams for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm going with Mike Santana in this match. I got a good feeling he's going to win. And of course, this is his home where TNA Slammiversary is going to be at. And he stayed on Extreme Life on Matt Hardy. I was just watching that episode. Great episode. I encourage y'all to go watch it. He was on Matt Hardy's podcast, Extreme Life with Matt Hardy. He was talking about how he was told he will always be a tag team guy. He'll always be a tag team guy, that he'll never make it into the main event, and will always be in the tag team division, et cetera, et cetera. And then he left AEW, and he went and bet on himself and on the independents. He, House of Glory, became the House of Glory World Heavyweight Champion. And now he's in TNA and getting one step closer to WWE. And I think if he goes to WWE, he's going to be a top talent in WWE. But Mike Santana, I got him winning the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. This will be a great for him, for the company, and putting the title on Mike Santana. I think this will be great to end the night off in TNA for TNA Slammiversary. Let's take the biggest event for TNA in their company. It's basically their WrestleMania. So I love TNA Slammiversary. I've watched past episodes of TNA Slammiversary. It was great to see when Sting was there, AJ was there, James Storm, Bobby Roode. I mean, the list goes on of many great legends that came out of TNA. And this match right here with Mike Santana, Trick Williams, the TNA World Champion, and Joe Hendry. I want to go Joe Hendry because I love Joe Hendry, but I love Mike Santana too. And also love Trick Williams. Trick Williams is a great talent, and he has gotten better and everything. I really do believe he needs to be on the main roster. He needs to move up to the main roster in WWE on either Raw or SmackDown. He can drop this TNA title belt and then get ready to move up to the main roster in WWE. So I got Mike Santana in this match. I think he's going to win. Again, we got a stacked card for TNA Slammiversary. Stacked card for TNA Slammiversary. TNA's been on a really good hot streak as of late, and I love TNA. I'm glad that it's gotten better. I'm glad that it has risen from seeing them go from barely 100 to 200 in a crowd to now up to 1,000 and even 1,000 plus at their pay-per-views. It is just great to see them start to rise back up. And even I think if WWE does purchase TNA and they own the company, I think it will get better as well. But even if they don't, which I'm kind of bittersweet, I love TNA as their own entity, their own company. So I think TNA, especially with this route, with the stories they've had, the matches they've had, the stars they've developed and built, I think they're on a great, positive road and are going to keep getting better as we go, and even into maybe even the next year that gets bigger. The next year, and they start packing more seats into the arenas. Maybe even do bigger venues later down the road, especially for the pay-per-views. So this is going to be a big TNA pay-per-view. It's going to be a big Slammiversary. Uh, Probably one of the best we've seen as late. Last year's was really good. I think this one will be great as well, maybe even better. So I think this Sunday we'll see a really great TNA Slammiversary, and I can't wait. Can't wait. I hate that I have to work. I want to watch the aftermath. I want to watch the replay on Monday, and then give my reviews of that as well. Again, in the future, not next Thursday. I should hope. Wish I thought of this yesterday, but not next Thursday, but the next Thursday, 2 weeks from now, because of my work schedule, I'm going to begin TNA Watch Along, TNA Cross the Line Watch Along. That's what I'm going to start doing, and doing my reviews of TNA. Calling it Aaron Loves Crossing the Line TNA review. That's what I'm going to do. So tune in the future, not only with my AEW watch alongs, WWE watch alongs with Devin the Tribal Chief on his channel. Go follow him on YouTube. I'll be there this Monday night watching Monday Night Raw. Can't wait. We got the return of the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns last Monday, so I can't wait to see my boy Roman Reigns back this Monday on Raw. Ready to report that up with all the upcoming Raws leading to SummerSlam. We're going to see Roman Reigns basically on every single episode, so I can't wait for that. Glad the Tribal Chief is back. Glad Roman Reigns is back. It was much needed because I love Roman Reigns. I'm glad he's back. And I really do believe he's going to dethrone John Cena for the WWE Championship. I'm calling it. That's what I think what's going to happen. But join me on Monday Night Raw with Devin Tribal Chief on his YouTube channel. Go subscribe to his channel. Follow him on X. Follow him on Instagram, Kick, Twitch. Go follow him on TikTok. And then watch us Monday as we watch Monday Night Raw. Join me next Saturday as I do my AEW Collision watch along. I won't be able to do Dynamite again because of my work schedule, but next Saturday night I do an AEW Collision watch along, which the All Elite Predictions title will be on the line. All you gotta do is come in to the chat, predict who's going to win each match. The one with the most predictions right wins the title and is the champion until the next show. Right now, Johnny, our little bro Johnny Autism, he's the champ. So we'll see what happened. We'll see if he retains it or I win it or maybe somebody else. So join me next Saturday night for AEW Collision watch along. And then after that, next Wednesday and Thursday, the following Wednesday will be AEW Dynamite watch along. And then also the beginning of the TNA Impact watch along for me. Aaron Loves Crossing the Line. That's what I'm going to do. So join me as I watch TNA. Oh, Jake the Tribal Chief, the original Tribal Chief. What's up, man? Glad for you to join me. It's pretty much towards the end of the episode, but you can re-watch it. Basically, giving my review of TNA Impact last night, my predictions of Slammiversary this Sunday, and the announcement of my future of getting more involved with TNA, reviewing TNA, calling Aaron Loves Crossing the Line TNA review, and then also my TNA watch alongs in the future. I'll unfortunately miss Slammiversary this Sunday night. I'll unfortunately miss TNA Impact next Thursday, along with AEW Dynamite. My AEW Collision next Saturday, I will be able to do a watch along. Again, my crazy work schedule, life in law enforcement. And then the next following Wednesday and Thursday, it will be Dynamite watch along, and then the beginning of TNA Impact watch along for me. Hopefully, I'll maybe have Johnny join me on those two as well. Maybe I would get Devin to join me for the TNA. He won't do AEW, but maybe TNA. Maybe he'll do TNA. I love TNA wrestling. Been a fan of it since I was about 12, 13 years old as well. Once I got into WWE, I found TNA as well, back in 2005, 2006. So I'm seeing TNA go through the little downfall they did for a few years. Now they're rising back up. I love it, and I'm here for it. I can't wait for in the future for TNA to get better. I'm hyped for TNA Slammiversary. Wish I could watch it live, but I will watch the replay and then also feature TNA Impact episodes in the future. Thank y'all for joining me. Appreciate y'all joining me for this episode. I love y'all. appreciate y'all. And just remember, everyone, it doesn't matter which company you love, whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW, whether it's TNA, New Japan, Independence, it don't matter. Just love professional wrestling. Thank y'all and have a blessed one. Have a great weekend. Catch y'all next time.
Lights go down, the bell's about to ring. Aaron's in the booth talking about everything from WWE to you, classics and the rest. You know he's got the passion and he's bringing you the best.